Good afternoon. This is Dr. Taylor, and I'm doing the Week 4 update for English 302 British Literature. There are some things that I need to go over. So the first and most pressing thing, and I will go ahead and share my screen. Hope you guys can see it. Is that the literature review is due on the 21st. So the 21st is Sunday night. So if you have not begun working on your literature review, then you're going to want to do that. Now we'll go over into the content section under assignment sheets, and you can find the assignment sheet for the literature review. If you have any questions about the literature review, do not hesitate to ask. I can upload some supplemental documents if you have any problems with that. All right. The next thing would be that we have an exam coming up, and I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to proctor that. I've got a text message. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to proctor that exam. I could do it through D2L, or I could do it through something called the Respondus browser. And essentially what that does is it locks down your browser and it records you while you take it. But I've never worked with that before, so I'd have to play around with it. So I will let you guys know sooner rather than later what I decide to do as far as the exam. But I would also like to go over a couple of basic things about the exam, how it will work. First and foremost, I'm not going to go over anything on the exam that you didn't read. So I'm just not going to throw in things that just out of nowhere. So for the first exam, what you're really going to want to know are the central tenets of Romanticism. And if you go to the week 2 module under content, then you can find that PowerPoint that really speaks to some of the central things of Romanticism. So that could be an essay question, or it could be multiple choice. But be sure to review that. And if you have not read the period introduction from the Norton Critical Edition, or excuse me, from the Norton Anthology Volume D, I will pull questions from there about Romanticism. But I will also be assessing the poems and like Dorothy Wordsworth journals. So the poems and any of the other literature we've read in this first unit as it pertains to Romanticism. So any of the things I may have had you guys do in the D2L post, where here's a passage, identify how it's representative of Romantic literature, Romantic era literature. It's not romantic in the ooh la la sense. So there's a hint, and keep that in mind. And then there could also be passage recognition, where I could pull a little bit of text and I'm like, well, who is this? And then essay questions. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the exam, or you need some sort of reasonable accommodation, do not hesitate to contact me about that, because I'll be more than happy to, and I'm legally obligated to help you out as long as the accommodations are reasonable. And I think the way the exam is going to work is that I'm going to give you guys just not Sunday. You can have a couple days, maybe the course of a week, to complete the exam. So that touches on the exam and the literature review. The last thing I would go over, I'll share my screen once again, is the forum post number 3, excuse me, on Coleridge and Keats. So this will, in your exam, you will do something very similar to this. So just if you can hone the skills in forum post 3, that will translate well to your exam. And that forum post 3 is due on the 22nd. I gave you guys an extra day to do it because the exam will start on the 21st. So that concludes our week 4 update. Just keep doing what you're doing. And if you have any questions for me, you know my email.